Welcome everybody to a look at a box set that is unfortunately not available anymore in terms of this limited edition version, although you can still get the films in a standard box set, and it is Cartoon Saloon's Irish Folklore Trilogy. So these are all three of these are directed by Tom Moore to some extent, and they're all three of them are animated fantasy films, and they're all deeply embedded in kind of like Irish folklore and such as well. So yeah, as you probably gathered by the title. So yeah, they're all three films that are really rather good, and yeah, this limited edition version came out in 2021. I think it was December 2021, so quite some time. Obviously I bought this well before doing any kind of film videos on this channel, but yeah, the first film is from 2009, and it is The Secret of Kells. Let's just get the disc for you here. There we go. So yeah, all three of these are also rated PG, so they're a little bit higher in terms of maturity than the standard kind of animated film, but still, they are all well worth seeing. So yeah, first film clocks in at 78 minutes long. Only actor I've seen anything else from before is Brendan Gleeson in this, who I've seen in 27 other films. Favourites from him being the likes of In Bruges, The Banshees of Inisherin, Calvary, and Lake Placid. Mainly for him in that film because he's just hilarious. So yeah, Brendan, who lives in the Abbey of Kells, meets a magical illuminator who possesses an incomplete book with magical powers. After the Abbey is attacked, Brendan goes on a quest to complete the book. So this is an overall highly enjoyable animated fantasy film that has stunning animation that is rather unique in its style and execution. The score is also superb, the voice cast is great, it is predominantly well paced, the plot is engrossing, there are some funny moments, and it has plenty of emotional weight to it as well. Just a shame that characterization is really rather quite by the numbers, but as a whole, this is a well worth the watch. This is well worth the watch. So yeah, although granted, it could have easily had a little bit of extra running time to give it a bit more depth, but still, overall, a really well of a solid film and a good start to this box set at 4 out of 5. And then from 2014, we have Song of the Sea. So this is probably the one that most people have actually heard of. And yeah, this is from 2014, and it cuts in at 94 minutes long. Stars again Brendan Gleeson, but also Fanula Flanagan, who was in the others. So yeah, Ben, an Irish boy, along with his sister Sorozi, who can transform into a seal, sets off on a quest to liberate the fairies and protect the spirit world from the forces of evil. So this is an absolutely magnificent effort, as it instantaneously managed to draw me into its magical and beautiful world. The animation is also exquisite. The plot is highly effective at balancing its sadder moments with the overall happy story. It has a truly gorgeous score, great voice acting, there are a couple of laughs, and the ending is emotionally weighty and impactful. So if you're someone that is easily susceptible to crying at the end of films or anything like that, then this is a film that is yeah, easily going to do that with you, as it did it with me, quite frankly. So yeah, I guess a full 5 out of 5, to be honest. It's an absolutely sensational film and easily one of my favourite animated efforts ever made. And then finally, from 2020, so there is quite a large gap between these films, 5 years between the first and second one, and 6 years between the second and the third, and that is 2020's Wolf Walkers. This is actually a co-production with Apple, and I think it is actually available on their streaming service if you have that service already. So yeah, but it is generally surprising that it is on a physical release, but then Apple seem to be a little bit more, you know, happy to have their films on a physical release, unlike say Netflix. So yeah, this is actually co-directed with Ross Stewart, who hasn't done any other directorial full feature length films before, but he was responsible for the art direction for Secret of Kells, as well as Paranorman, which is one of my favourite animated films from the 2010s. And yeah, this clocks in at 102 minutes. Stars Sean Bean, who I've seen in 19 other films. Favourites being the likes of The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, GoldenEye, Ronin, Patriot Games, and Black Death, as well as Simon McBurney, who was in The Conjuring 2, Nosferatu, and The Pale Blue Eye. So, in a time of superstition and magic, when wolves are seen as demonic and nature and evil to be tamed, a young apprentice hunter comes to Ireland with her father to wipe out the pack. But when she saves a wild native girl, Their friendship leads her to discover the world of the Wolf Walkers and transform her into the very thing her father is tasked to destroy. So this is overall very nearly as great as Song of the Sea, with the only thing that this lacks is the same level of emotional heft of that aforementioned effort. But everything else in this is as good as. The animation is excellent, the score is superb, it is well paced, the voice cast is really good, it is engaging throughout, and features solid world building as well. So, yeah, that gets a 4.5 out of 5. So, overall, a really, really fantastic box set in terms of the films themselves. But then again, I also like the presentation that this has going on with it as well. So, we have the typical kind of thing that we've seen with several, say, Hammer releases, where we have a long series of discs. We also have a bonus features disc on this as well. I am misremembering what is actually on there, but I imagine it's quite a lot given it's got its own disc. And yeah, you can watch all three of these films, I believe, in Irish language as well, if you want it to be a little bit more authentic. But I'm not sure how the language is on that, because I'm pretty sure these were filmed originally with English in mind. But still, it's a nice little addition there. And yeah, the hard box itself is nicely done as well, with artwork featuring characters from all three films. So that's Wolf Walkers, that's Song of the Sea, and that is Secret of Kells. And then we have the reverse as well. And yeah, really nice solid hard box. We also get a collector's edition booklet with this release as well, with the artwork on the front and the rear being the same as the hard box. And inside we have Irish Folklore Trilogy by Michael Leader and Jake Cunningham. So they go through each of the three films there. And then we have characters of the Irish Folklore Trilogy. So you have them in their final form, and then their sketches as well. And the process of going through all of that for each of the films. There's a, apart from Song of the Sea, for instance, I believe. So yeah, really interesting little booklet there that gives you some background and some information all in one go. So yeah, all three films on in this release are also on Blu-ray, by the way. They're not 4K or anything like that, but I don't think it really needs that additional format, to be honest. We also get a nice poster with this, which is double-sided. So, not sure why it's double-sided, because it doesn't seem to be any difference between either of the two. But, you know, that's the way it is, I guess. So yeah, it's got that new artwork that we've seen already on the book, on the hard box. But yeah, don't know why it is double-sided, because yeah, like I said, there is no difference between the two, which is a little bit of a shame. Should have had at least some new artwork on one side. And then we have a few art cards as well, with shots from the films. So that's The Secret of Kells, and they all have that on the reverse as well. I think that's Song of the Sea. Oh, my cat is interrupting. And then Wolf Walkers, and again the new artwork on the art card as well. So yeah, overall fantastic little box set. This, it is a shame that this limited edition version isn't available anymore, but then again, it is a limited edition. It's only going to have so many copies. But if you are looking for free films in a physical release, then like I said, they are available in a standard box set. I think it's somewhat slimmer than this, so yeah, you might not get the bonus disc as well, but and you certainly won't get any of the art cards, the poster, or the booklet either. But you know, at the end of the day, when it comes to releases like this, it is about the films first and foremost, and the films themselves are great, and yeah, really rather enjoyable. Not particularly long. Obviously, the third and final one is the longest of the two at more than 100 minutes, but even then, that is not ridiculously long, and the first one is only 78 minutes, so it's easily digestible if you were looking to get into something like this for the first time. But yeah, they're all well worth seeing, and yeah, they all sit proudly in my collection overall, and yeah, really glad that I got them back when it was released. And yeah, even though you won't get the limited edition elements of this in terms of the physical form, you will still nonetheless get the films in fine looking Blu-ray. I think the 5.1 sound as well, so sounds pretty good as well on top of all of that. So yeah, a really good release. I've not seen many people talk about this one, so yeah, really glad to go back and revisit these and show you off this box set, which I've had in my collection for quite some time. So yeah, but nonetheless, if you have seen any of these 3 films before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on them. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.